The Renaissance is not an abstract idea here. It lives in hands, in materials, in the slow transformation of raw elements into objects of beauty. Step inside one of these workshops. Light enters through a small window, illuminating particles in the air. A painter stands before a panel, focused. His movements are deliberate. Each stroke adds depth, shadow, meaning. He is not just creating an image. He is participating in a cultural shift. Across Europe, ideas are changing. Knowledge is being rediscovered. Art is evolving from symbolic to human, from distant to intimate. Venice plays its part in this transformation, blending influences from East and West. As artists experiment with color, with light, with emotion, and its patrons, wealthy merchants and officials, support this work, not only for beauty, but for legacy. To be remembered in Venice is to exist beyond one's lifetime. Now return outside. The sun has risen higher. The canals are busier. Boats move in all directions, some small and quiet, others larger, carrying goods or passengers. You notice something important. There are no horses here, no carriages rolling through wide streets. Movement is defined by water. Every journey, every delivery, every connection depends on it. This shapes not only the city's structure, but its mindset. Venetians think differently. They navigate, adapt, and measure distance in fluid ways. Now follow one of the larger boats as it heads toward the edge of the city. The buildings begin to open up. The canals widen. In the distance, you can see the lagoon stretching outward, connecting Venice to the sea. This is where its true power lies. Beyond the visible city, there is an invisible network of routes. Ships leave Venice and travel to ports across the Mediterranean and beyond. They bring back goods, information, and influence. But these journeys are not without danger. Storms, piracy, political conflict, each voyage carries risk. Yet the rewards are too great to ignore. Venice thrives because it accepts this balance. Risk and reward, stability and change. Now turn back toward the heart of the city. You approach a large open space, St. Mark's Square. Here the scale changes. The space opens wide, surrounded by grand buildings that reflect the city's power and identity. People gather in small groups. Officials pass through. Pigeons scatter as footsteps echo across the stone. At one end stands a magnificent structure, its domes rising, its facade detailed with intricate designs influenced by Byzantine art. St. Mark's Basilica. It is more than a place of worship. It is a statement, a reflection of Venice's connection to the East, its wealth, and its cultural ambition. Inside, light filters through golden mosaics, creating an atmosphere that feels both sacred and political. Because in Venice, religion and power are closely linked. Faith supports authority. Authority protects stability. Now observe the people moving through the square. Nobles in dark robes, clergy in formal garments, workers passing quickly, focused on tasks, visitors observing quietly, taking in the scale of what stands before them. Each person has a place. Each movement contributes to the larger system. Venice does not rely on chaos. It relies on structure, on balance, on the careful management of complexity. As the day continues, the light begins to shift again. Shadows grow longer. The water reflects deeper tones. The energy of the morning gives way to something calmer, more reflective. But the city does not stop. Business continues. Conversations unfold behind closed doors. Decisions are made that will influence trade routes, alliances, and the lives of thousands. You begin to understand something essential. Venice in 1500 is not just thriving. It is sustaining a delicate equilibrium between land and water, between East and West, between tradition and innovation. It exists because it has learned how to adapt without losing control. And as you stand here, watching the city breathe, you realize that every stone, every canal, every voice is part of a larger story, one that is still unfolding. The light fades slowly, the water darkens, and Venice continues, steady and silent, floating between worlds. The evening does not fall quickly here, settles, slowly, Like a curtain drawn with care, the light softens over Venice. The bright reflections of morning give way to deeper colors, gold turning to amber, then to shadow. The canals darken, but they do not disappear. They hold the last light of the sky, carrying it gently between the buildings. You are still standing here, but the city feels different now. Quieter, yet more intimate. The rhythm has changed. Boats still move, but with less urgency. Voices are lower. Footsteps echo more clearly along narrow paths. The air carries new scents. Cooked food, candle wax, the faint trace of the sea. This is the other side of Venice. Not the public face of trade and power, but the private life beneath it. Follow a narrow street as it turns away from the main canal. The walls rise close on either side. Windows glow softly from within. You hear fragments of conversation, laughter, the clink of plates. Inside these homes, the day continues in a different form. Families gather around simple tables. Bread is broken, fish is shared, wine is poured in modest cups. The wealthy dine with more abundance, their tables covered in fine cloth, their meals more elaborate. Yet across all levels of society, there is a common need to pause, to reflect, to exist beyond work. A child leans near a window, looking down at the canal below. A mother calls him back. Life here is shaped by water, but it is also shaped by closeness. Space is limited. Privacy is rare. People live near one another, their lives overlapping in quiet, constant ways. Now step into one of the grander residences. Palace along the Grand Canal. From the outside, it is imposing. Marble walls, tall windows, balconies that overlook the water. But inside, the atmosphere is controlled, almost restrained. Wealth is displayed, but not loudly. There is an understanding in Venice: power is strongest when it is composed. A nobleman sits at a desk. Documents are spread before him. Trade agreements, letters from distant ports, reports from ships that have returned, and from those that have not. He reads carefully, his expression steady. For him, the city is not just home. It is responsibility. The fortunes of his family are tied to decisions made in rooms like this. Every signature carries weight. Every alliance matters. In another chamber, a woman oversees the household. Servants move at her instruction. Fabrics are inspected. Accounts are reviewed. Her role is less visible but no less important. Order begins here within the walls. Now shift your attention beyond these homes, toward the edge of the lagoon. The last ships of the day are returning. Their silhouettes appear against the fading sky, sails lowered, hulls heavy. Some bring goods, others bring news. Both are equally valuable. Dockworkers prepare for their arrival. Torches are lit, casting flickering light across the water. Ropes are thrown. Cargo is secured. Listen closely. There is fatigue in their movements, but also focus. The work must continue, even as night approaches. Because Venice does not sleep in the way other cities do. It transitions. The activity becomes quieter, more concentrated, but it does not stop. Now imagine one of these ships, arriving from the east. This journey has been long. It has crossed open seas, navigated uncertain waters, avoided threats both natural and human. The goods it carries, spices, textiles, rare materials, are the result of weeks, sometimes months of travel. But along with these goods comes something less visible. Ideas, stories, knowledge. Venice absorbs all of this. It listens, it observes, it adapts. This is how it remains powerful, not by isolation, but by connection. Yet with connection comes vulnerability. Disease can travel the same routes as trade. Conflict in distant lands can disrupt supply. Political shifts can change alliances overnight. The leaders of Venice understand this. That is why their system is built on caution. Now return to the center of the city. The great square, St. Mark's Square, looks different at night. The crowds have thinned. The open space feels larger, more reflective. Torches and lanterns cast soft light across the stone. Shadows move slowly along the edges. At one side, The outline of St. Mark's Basilica stands against the darkening sky. Its domes are less defined now, but still present, still watching. Inside, the atmosphere is quiet. Candles burn steadily. Their light reflects off golden mosaics, creating a sense of depth that feels almost endless. A few figures remain in prayer, their voices low, their presence calm. Religion here is not distant from daily life. It is woven into it. It offers structure, meaning, and continuity in a world shaped by uncertainty. Step back outside. A group of men walks across the square. They are dressed in dark robes, their pace measured. These are members of the governing councils. Even at this hour, discussions continue. Decisions must be made. The city's stability depends on constant attention. They move toward a nearby building. Inside, the chambers are lit. Voices rise and fall in controlled debate. There is no shouting, no dramatic display. Authority here is expressed through discipline, through process, through repetition. This is how Venice protects itself from internal conflict, from external threats, from the unpredictability of the world beyond its waters. Now follow the sound of music. It leads you through a series of narrow passages, opening into a small courtyard. Lanterns hang from above, casting warm light over a gathering of people. A musician plays a lute. Others join in, soft voices, gentle rhythm. This is not a grand performance. It is something quieter, a moment of shared experience, away from the pressures of trade and governance. In Venice, art is not confined to workshops or palaces. It lives in these moments, in music, in conversation, in the way people choose to spend their limited time. Nearby, a painter sits with a small group, discussing his work. He speaks of light, of color, of capturing not just form, but feeling. His ideas reflect a larger movement, one that is changing how people see the world. This is the Renaissance, and Venice is one of its stages. Here, art is influenced by travel, by trade, by exposure to different cultures. It becomes richer, more layered, more complex. But it is also grounded in reality, in the faces of the people, in the textures of the city, in the light that shifts across water and stone. Now move again, toward the quieter edges of the city. The canals here are still. The buildings are simpler. The sounds are fewer. A single boat passes, its movement barely disturbing the surface. This is where the workers live. The sailors, the craftsmen, the laborers who support the visible grandeur of Venice. Their lives are harder, less stable, yet they are essential. Without them, the system does not function. A man returns home after a long day. His hands are rough, his clothes worn. He steps inside, greeted by a small space, a simple meal, a brief moment of rest. Tomorrow he will begin again. This repetition is part of the city's strength, not just in its leaders or its merchants, but in the consistency of its people. Now pause. Listen to the city as a whole, the distant sound of water against stone, the quiet murmur of voices, the occasional call from a passing boat. It is not silent, but it is calm. And in this calm, you can feel something deeper. Venice in 1500 is balanced on many edges, between wealth and risk, between openness and control, between beauty and fragility. It thrives because it understands these tensions. It does not try to eliminate them. It manages them, carefully, continuously. As the night deepens, the lights begin to fade. One by one, windows darken. The activity slows further. The canals become almost still. But even now, Venice does not fully rest. Somewhere, a decision is being made. Somewhere, a plan is forming. Somewhere, a ship is preparing to leave at first light. This is a city that exists in motion, even when it appears still. And as you stand here at the edge of the water, you begin to see it not just as a place, but as an idea, a way of living, a system built on adaptation, connection, and restraint. The morning will come again. The bells will ring. The boats will move. And Venice will continue, as it has learned to do, quietly, deliberately, and with an understanding that survival is not about strength alone, but about balance. The water reflects the last trace of light, and the city, suspended between sea and sky, remains. The light arrives first. Soft, golden, and slow, it spills across the still surface of the lagoon. The water holds the sky like a mirror, barely disturbed except for the quiet ripple of a passing oar. You are standing here at the edge of a floating city, Venice, in the year 1500. There is no sudden noise, no rush, just the gradual awakening of a place that does not rise from land, but from water. Look closely. The buildings seem to grow directly out of the canals, their foundations hidden beneath the surface. Wooden poles, driven deep into the mud decades ago, hold everything in place. Above them, marble facades catch the early sun. Arches, columns, and delicate windows reflect wealth, confidence, and quiet ambition. A bell begins to ring in the distance, then another. The sound spreads across the city like a signal, echoing between narrow alleys and over the water. This is how the day begins in Venice, not with chaos, but with rhythm. Now the movement starts. A gondola glides past you, its black hull cutting through the canal. The gondolier stands tall, guiding it with practiced ease. Inside, a merchant sits silently, wrapped in a dark cloak. His face is unreadable, but his destination matters. In this city, movement is business, and business is everything. Venice in 1500 is not just a city. It is a crossroads of the world. This power does not come from armies marching across land. It comes from ships, from routes, from knowledge of winds, tides, and distant markets. This is a republic built on water and trade, connected to places most people will never see. Imagine standing at the edge of the Grand Canal. The waterway curves like a living artery through the city. On both sides, palaces rise, homes of powerful families whose fortunes are tied to commerce. Their windows are open now. Servants move quietly inside. Fabrics are shaken out, tables prepared, accounts reviewed. A boat approaches, heavy with cargo. Barrels, crates, and bundles are stacked carefully. Spices from the east, silks from distant lands, glassware crafted in nearby islands. Each item carries not just value, but a story of distance, risk, and exchange. The boat slows as it reaches a landing. Men step forward to unload it. Their movements are efficient, almost rehearsed. They do not waste time. In Venice, time is tied to profit, and profit fuels the city's survival. Now shift your gaze upward. Flags move gently in the morning breeze. Symbols of families, of guilds, of authority. Above all of them stands the power of the Venetian Republic, subtle, controlled, and deeply organized. This is not a kingdom. There is no single ruler commanding from a throne. Instead, Venice is governed by a system carefully balanced, almost mechanical. At its center is the Doge, a figure of prestige and ceremony, chosen not by inheritance, but through a complex process designed to prevent corruption and concentration of power. Behind him stands a network of councils, men in robes, seated in quiet chambers, debating decisions that shape trade, law, and diplomacy. Their voices are measured. Their concerns are practical. Stability matters more than glory, because Venice cannot afford instability. It sits on water. It depends on connection. Every decision echoes beyond its canals, into distant ports and fragile alliances. Now move deeper into the city. The streets narrow. Stone pathways twist between buildings. Here, the air feels different, closer, warmer. You begin to hear voices. Conversations in Venetian dialect, mixed with foreign accents. Traders from the east. Envoys from other European states. Sailors who have seen storms and survived them. A market comes